me fire, give me that one to the side. All right, welcome back to Wind Tunnel TV in the Raid Super Mart Furniture Series. I think I messed that one up, but we're live from Nashville Fairgrounds for the season finale here. I'm Dean Doucette, in the booth with me, Mr. Baron Labosco. Baron, couldn't think of a better track to hold this season finale.
Championship night. Boy, Dean, as a racer, you can't get more amped up for a race like this. This is the night where all these guys' hard work and season-long performances, it's all come down to Nashville tonight, Dean. I'm super excited. I can't wait to see how this thing plays out. Dean, this is a great track. You got to be excited for our points leaders in this one.
Well, speaking of the track, we can take a look at that first of all. Standard weather here, 78 degrees outside. Let's look at the track temp, if we can pull that up. We see a 99-degree track, pretty good racy out here tonight. Keys to the race, as always, control, pitting, and strategy. And Baron, control. It's about controlling the race. It's about staying under control. It's championship night, man. I mean, you got to have all your faculties working tonight.
It's got to be all in place, Dean. We got to have a fast car. We got to have a smart, patient, and aggressive driver. We got to have solid pit stops. And most of all, Dean, we can't have any mistakes tonight. All the marbles, all the chips are at the center of the table. Dean, it's got to be a perfect night for our race winner, and then our championship for the season is going to be settled. Dean, I'm so excited. I'm almost tongue tied. I can't wait to see this thing go off.
Me too. And you talked about mistakes. They're huge. We've seen it all year long. Guys, like Miller having to fight his way back, come around and win. Same with others. 1 lap down, 2 laps down, coming back and getting into the top. The most consistent seems to be Brian Cole. But maybe with the speed, you got Tripp, you got Miller. There's all kinds of scenarios that could play out here tonight. And let's take a look in them here. And Baron, maybe you can run us through this here. Our scenarios for tonight. A little confusing here when you read them through, but really, it's a win. You got to get out here and win this thing.
Absolutely. A win's going to seal the deal for our top 3 drivers. So that's Brian Cole, Keaton Tripp, and Austin Miller. Now, what you see on your screen for the viewers is a little bit misleading, so let's make it simple for you. This is Keaton Tripp's race and championship to lose right now. Keaton Tripp has to finish in front of Brian Cole, and they have to be in the top 4 to happen. Now, Austin Miller can sneak in and win this championship, but he has to win this race, and Keaton Tripp and Brian Cole have to finish outside of the top 4 for that to happen. So what we're talking about, guys and girls, is that Keaton Tripp and Brian Cole, whoever finishes in front of the other, that's going to be your season winner as long as they're in the top 4. So keep an eye on all 3 of these cars. What we've seen, throughout the season, Austin Miller's had some really weird circumstances. He falls a lap or 2 down tonight. I think that's his championship, Dean. And then Brian Cole and Keaton Tripp sail off to settle it for themselves.
Man, it's going to be so interesting, and we may not even be able to declare a winner at the end of this thing. I'm not sure. Maybe you can, Baron. We might have to wait for an update to get it done, because guys like Tripp and Cole and Miller, they're always at the front, and who's going to play spoiler tonight? Could a guy like Chris Shannon, could Marvin Termeyer himself get up here, kind of get in the mix and maybe spoil it for one of these guys?
Yeah, well, your fantasy lineup tonight, I think, is going to take place and look like this. I think Keaton Tripp and Brian Cole need to be in your starting 5. I think Austin Miller needs to be in your starting 5, and then you got 2 more wild cards. And don't count out a Chase Werdeman or a Matt Eddy tonight as well. Colin Kennedy's shown some speed, so is Adam Newton. So all of the usual players are going to be a factor tonight, Dean. But my fantasy top 5 have our 3 championship hopefuls, and I think I'm going to put Matt Eddy and Chase Werdeman in there.
Well, I'm going to throw Chris Shannon in there. He was real good early on in this season, so we'll see how this plays out. Right now, though, the guys getting in there, getting a meeting done. A little pep talk here on championship night as we await the start of this race. Qualifying has concluded, and I guess we could run it down here in a different manner here. We just bring up our ticker or tower, I should say. And you can see here, Keaton Tripp comes out and grabs the pole here this evening. That is huge for him. Shannon in second, Miller third. It's Chermeyer in fourth. Brian Cole start in fifth with Cole and Kennedy, Eddie, Adam Cole, Adam Newton, Hines, Pearson, Werdeman, Dubuque, and Roel. And who are we missing here? We're
Well,
missing. Actually, sorry, everybody's in here. I thought we were missing someone, but I think it's Brian Cole back in fifth. Not the start he would probably want here tonight, Baron.
yeah, sometimes you win it on Fridays, like they'll say in NASCAR. So Keaton Tripp, obviously putting the fastest bullet on the field at the point, and he's going to be a handful to pass tonight too. So Nashville's a great track, though. Nashville is fast. It's banked. It's got some longer straightaways, so these cars are going to have to be trimmed out a little bit for some speed. It's a little bumpy on the low line, but it's also the fastest line around, Dean. So take a look and see where some of these guys are running. We watched the likes of, uh, excuse me, I'm looking for the name, Bruce Pearson. Bruce in the 22 was running some practice laps, and he was in the middle groove to the high line, holding off fast cars like Brian Cole and Keaton Tripp. So you may see some guys who are set up for this high line to get around this track where it's a little smoother up top. They got some straightaway speed. You'll see some bottom feeders tonight.
Well, you see some bottom feeders, but what about protecting from the high side? And how aggressive does that guy get on the low side? Going to be interesting. But here we go. They are gridding up, folks. We're ready to set sail here in this finale from Nashville Fairgrounds. Can't wait to get it going. Our KT.org qualifying is complete, and we're ready to go.
I'm so excited for this, Dean. This is going to be a great show. Folks, this is what racing's all about. Season finale, championship on the line. Oh, I'm amped up. I can't wait to see this happen.
And it's not a joke, Baron. These guys in these cars, you think about real car drivers, they're all amped up and, sweat. It's the same here. Guys are legitimately in their chairs right now, sweating, nervous, and all pumped up. So it's really something to be out here in one of these races.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Dean. And look, listen, this is the season's culmination of racing, right? All of these guys have had good finishes, bad finishes. Some of these guys have sniffed some wins and only to have them stolen away. And here we have three guys championship bound, and we got Keaton Tripp on the pole, and he's being chased by Austin Miller and Adam. This is going to be great racing. I can't wait. I'm so excited. I'm more amped up than they are, Dean.
I think you are. We got to get you in a car, Baron. You're ready to go.
Awesome stuff. I can't wait. This is a great track. This is a perfect place to settle it. Boy, let these boys eat some pavement. Let's see what we can do. And those pit stops are going to matter too, Dean. So I'm all excited. Can't wait.
They're really going to be matter. See who gets at the back, puts himself in trouble. Remember, they do have a fast repair here, so that could come into play as well. Tripp and Shannon up front, Miller and Termeyer in row two.
Yeah, let's hope the yellow flag doesn't settle this one tonight. I'm excited to see what these guys can do under green flag condition. I think we're going to see some amazing racing.
Oh, no doubt we will. Here we go. Pace truck is off. Tripp leads him down, looking to get straight before he goes. And there he goes, launching. It's a nice, clean start here. It looks like everybody got a good start. Shannon on the high side, trying to hold off Miller.
Yeah, and Miller's found himself on the bottom. We've seen that car turn really well during the season. So let's see if he's got that same type of setup in there. He's on the bottom, just hoping those tires come in where he can get some space and work over Shannon.
You see Miller there in the 42. Expect him to be better late as he likes rolling that bottom. Right now, though, Tripp looking really good. It's Cole still in fifth. He might have lost a couple more than that. Or no, there he is in fifth position. So Cole hanging on, but he's got to move up.
Yeah, and I think we saw just a minute ago Brian Cole being very un-Brian Cole-like. He was pretty aggressive on that start, and it didn't pay off for him. So he settled back into the fifth spot, but I think those are some nerves. That's championship night happening right there for Ryan.
Nice clean start to this one. It's got that feel. Could have some big green flag runs here. Guys are going to have to manage their stuff, Baron. When we think about that, what can you do to manage those tires a little bit better than the next guy?
Yeah, patience, 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 Dean. These guys know there's what's on the line. Your championship three are obviously very excited, but we've seen guys overcook that right front on tracks like this, and if they let that happen, boy, it's over before it even started. They'll drop like a stone at Nashville.
Shannon already taking little peeks in the inside of Tripp, and you see Tripp entering, middle-ish, and coming out on the bottom there. Interesting line. There is room to kind of dive in there, Baron.
Yeah, and we'll see some guys test that out, of course, tonight. Every lap's going to matter tonight of these 200, and we'll see some guys try the high line, try the low line, especially if we're looking at a Brian Cole or an Austin Miller, who's riding in third right now. He's looking out the back and the front, so we'll see what happens to his line as the night moves on.
Miller just lost the rear end of that car momentarily there a lap ago. And it looked like Shannon did something similar just a minute ago. So these guys are a little loose off here. They're going to have to manage that.
Yeah, manage it and make sure the wall doesn't straighten it out for them. So, yeah, this set looks like it's a little bit looser. Good track temperatures, though. I like the way the track is set tonight. I think we'll see some good racing once we get some rubber down and some of these cars get worked in.
See the track down to 98. Good racy conditions here. These top fives, you can throw them under a blanket here as championship night. Nobody throwing it away early. We're on lap 10 here of 200. Long way to go for these guys.
Yeah, and everybody holding station. No big comers or goers right now. We got a couple guys in the back of the field that have advanced a couple spots. Alan Rolls, Stephen M. Both of those guys moving up a spot. But everybody else kind of falling in line and being patient with their car right now. As we see Adam Newton really working over, Adam Cole getting worked over by Adam Newton.
And Newton keeps taking a peek down in there, but now he's in jeopardy as the 11 of Barry Hines takes a little peek on him. So it's tough. If you don't, complete a pass, you're under heat immediately.
Yeah, and you fall into the clutches of the other guys as they go by. You're going to see a lot of blocking going on here tonight. It looks like these guys are all set up for one line. They're all kind of searching for some speed right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody's set up on the bottom. I expect someone to move up. And let's take a look in at the guy you talked about, Pearson. He's kind of on the bottom too. He was practicing that high line though.
Yeah, and that could be what the car's giving him at the moment, Dean. We saw him in practice under the same type of conditions, and he was running a high line real well. But maybe as the race got going, he's found himself on the bottom and searching for some speed now. He's back up that high line. He's lost a little ground to Chase Werdeman.
Yeah, Chase right behind him, closing in here. And yeah, you're right. I think he's searching a little bit, trying to find where he can put that thing. Back up front, Tripp, Shannon, Miller, Turnmeyer, and Cole all still in line, nose to tail.
This is awesome, man. Our championship top five, all right there. These guys are all under a blanket. One guy screws up, you're going to see a whole lot of passing going on.
It's, I think, what it's going to come down to, Baron, that one mistake. Who's the guy who doesn't make the mistake? He might be our champion here this evening.
And who's the spoiler? Look, check out Chris Shannon running second and hounding Keaton Tripp. You don't see that too often. So Shannon's up there looking to play spoiler tonight and win this thing, Dean.
Yeah, well, Shannon, he's missed quite a few races, but he has been contending. He has had speed all season long when he's here, so not a huge surprise, but a little bit of one. I expected Tripp with the pole here to kind of pull a lead off. It's not happening yet, Baron.
No, and with Chris Shannon all over the back of his car, he's really finding a lot of difficulties watching that rearview mirror real close. Shannon's probably playing it nice and close and conservative right now, knowing that championship is on the line. So when a pass gets made, it'll be passed, with clear intention. In other words, there won't be any pressing of the issue here.
We hop on board with Austin Miller, third in line here, and you can just see the angle. He's down on that bottom. I wonder if this is going to pay off, Baron, later on in the race. But these guys, I mean, they are grinding through these bumps here.
Yeah, take a look at his wheel input as he loses it coming out of 2. And yeah, and that car is loose, but it's got a real good turning radius through the center. Nice counter steer. Good save by Austin.
It's a good save. We'll check back in, actually. Let's hop in with Brian Cole in his cockpit here and see what he's seeing as he rides behind Marvin Termeyer. Oh, and he's in the wall. Maybe we got to stop going in the cockpits here, Baron.
Yeah, that was the kiss of death, and he kissed the wall. So, yeah, Dean, not a good start for Brian. Found himself a little further back than he would like, and now he's got a little damage from the wall on the right side.
Interesting to see a couple of guys maybe pushing harder. You don't see that from Brian Cole there, but you get up. It's hard to see, Baron. People don't realize you get right up behind someone. Really hard to see your points, your turning points, your throttle points, and easy to miss them.
Yeah, and also on a bigger track like this, there's a little bit of aero that plays into that, so you lose the nose a little bit when you're tucked up behind somebody. These guys will figure it out. You can see them searching. Look, Shannon's got a headlight underneath Keaton Tripp now. He's showing him that he's faster, and he wants to go around him, but he's also being real patient with Keaton. So, and I think, honestly, he's holding up the 42, and he's holding up Marvin at this point. We'll see if Shannon can open the door and who follows him through.
Shannon drifts up the track a little bit there, maybe on purpose, trying to get a run off the corner. Not too sure, but I think you're right. Miller in third. I just, you talked about it a lot during this season, the way he rolls those corners, and I think it's going to pay off, later on here on the long run.
Yeah, and this also has the makings of a longer green flag run, and that plays into Brian Cole's hands. We've seen him all year, real patient with the tires, real patient with his car, and then all of a sudden, where'd he come from? He's in the lead,
Absolutely. Brian Cole, you never, ever count him out. How about Colin Kennedy, though? He's latched onto this group in the 3 car. He's up the track a little bit, finding some speed up there, so the 3 having himself a nice run.
Yeah, and a little different paint scheme tonight from Colin. A good-looking car there in that 3 car. Looks like he's running a little Brian Newman throwback from back in the day. Real great-looking car there, and he's got some speed, Dean.
Definitely does. Looking good. You look back a little further, it's Matt Eddy back here, and none of these guys in the top 10 have switched position. They're all status quo, Baron. This is very unusual, as it looks like now Newton looking underneath Adam Cole. Can he make this move? The 5 car down on the low side. Yes, Adam Cole going to give it. No, he's not going to give it to him. A big run on the outside. Here he comes.
So frustrating, boy. If you're in the 5 car, come on, man, just let me go. I got you beat. And now he's finally got him cleared. You're waiting for your spotter door bumper clear. Come on up,
Wow, that is so tough. And you can see, get in ahead of him, but middle off, it's the high side. Oh, and Newton's loose. Adam Cole, a good job staying off him there.
Yeah, well, he was using that right rear to make that pass. He's going to have to let it cool down a little bit and then concentrate on the windshield. Go get that 88 car.
All right, back up front. Shannon, something's happening to Chris Shannon. Wow. Try and get a replay on what exactly happened to Shannon. Let's have a look at it. See Shannon in second there. Is right up on Tripp. Gasses it off. Not the best grip off. Wow, and he just overdrives the corner.
Yeah, just missed it. Dove it in too deep and got up the hill. That's a concentration issue. Welcome to championship night.
Yeah, well, you talked about it. I mean, probably before we were on the air, Baron. You're just saying it's an easy track to overshoot that corner. That's exactly what Shannon just did.
And it happens. You get so used to these turns, the tires start to wear, they start getting a little hot, a little greasy, and next thing you know, you missed your mark, and it's really cost you 2 spots.
So that puts Miller up here on the back of Tripp now. Marvin Termeyer up to third as well. So Marvin looking racy here. He wants to come out and finish with a bang. He hasn't had one this season. Boy, he'd love to steal this win.
Sure would, and we were talking about this off air, but Marvin's, been, a consummate professional when it comes to running this league, and he's sacrificed some races to make sure the league was running smoothly. Here he is in the top 3 right now, the season finale. He's hungry for a checkered flag.
is Tripp. We got 4 of them, nose to tail. Man, oh man. I mean, it's just so tough to pass. Someone's got to move up the track, but how do you do it when there's 2 other guys behind you, Baron?
Well, they all know. They all know that, lose one spot, you could lose 3 here if you're in this top 4.
Yeah, that's exactly how it goes down. You get freight trained, and you just can't have that here. On lap 37 at 200, Miller got underneath just a little bit there, but you can see the drive off favors Tripp out front.
And it looks like Chris Shannon's recovered here now, so he's got his car back underneath him again. Now he's got to make up those spots he just lost. Tall order considering the drivers that are in front of him.
Yeah, he may be the fastest guy out here, but you cannot make mistakes as he touches the wall there.
And there you go. That's the mistake we were hoping not to see, right?
You can't make any. And the guys who don't are going to come out on top tonight. So as we look to get into lap 40 of 200 here, and, these are going to click off really quick here, Baron. These guys got to start thinking about what I can do, and I think it's pit stops. You got to start thinking about that strategy already.
Yeah, absolutely. Since we've seen it's very hard to pass here, and like you said earlier, Dean, not a lot of passing going on under green flags. So maybe tires makes the decision for you. Maybe we need to put 4 tires on this thing. See if we can't lower our lap times a bit and gain some track position. Because I think track position at the end of this race is really going to be what wins it. Austin Miller really hounding the 26 of Keaton Tripp. He is there, Dean. I mean, that is a fast race car.
And he gets underneath. Takes a little peek, but again, the drive off. He's definitely fast. And I think exactly what we were talking about, Baron. The way he rolls these corners, I don't know what trick he's got up his sleeve, but he rolls them better than most. And it's starting to pay off. He's just got to find a way around.
Yeah, and that's long run speed too. If you're not using that wheel to turn that car, if the car's turning itself through the center, he's going to have some great drive off, and that makes for a much faster track or much faster lap time later on in the run.
Absolutely. I talk a lot about qualifying, Baron, in my own league where I run and everything, and it is so important. Look here tonight. Tripp might not be the fastest. I think Miller might be faster. I think Shannon, maybe Schermeyer, they all might be faster, but he's got the track position. He's controlling this race. Nobody can get around him.
Well, we're about to throw some lap cars into the mix here, and that's going to mix this thing up a little bit. Once they reach those lap cars, they're going to have to pick which line they're going to use, and if they can't make that work, your competitor is going to make it work for you.
Yes, sir. Lap cars could be huge here. I think Allen rolls first up. He's got Bruce Pearson right in front of him, and that's even worse. When you get 2 of them like this, they're battling for position. You never know. They could go side by side and really throw you for a loop.
Yeah, and that's the lucky dog at play right there, too. So these guys know, here come the leaders. Don't let anybody around you now.
My, oh my, this is going to heat up. Let's hop on board with Keaton Tripp and see what he's seeing. I can only imagine what he's thinking, Baron.
Yeah, good wheel input. He's yelling at his spotter right now. Get these guys out of my way. This championship weekend. I don't need these guys here. This 42 cars all over me. And now he's got decisions to make. Where to take these guys. And it looks like they're going to keep it on the low line. So here comes Keaton Tripp to the high side. And hopefully he keeps that 42 behind him.
Wow, so dangerous here. As we head back to our other view, and he's going to have to split him here. Wow, danger! Right down the middle he goes, and behind him, Schermeyer trying to capitalize, but he gets stuck. Miller looks into the middle. Holy cow!
And Miller gets almost into the wall on that deal. As the rest of them scatter, Brian Cole's loose. Oh my goodness.
I think Shannon kind of got into him there with all this traffic all around. All this allowed Tripp to walk out a little bit, hurt Brian Cole a little bit. Wow, that was some crazy stuff.
Yeah, and it's not over, Dean. These lap cars are still there, and they've just effectively separated these top 4.
We'll see if that lasts or not. Cole now has passed Shannon at least. got to come forward even more.
Yep. And now what we're going to see here is which one of these drivers has that car, right? Can Austin Miller catch back up to the 26? Can Marvin Termeyer catch the 42? He was right there as well. It looks like he's got a real fast car tonight as well.
Marvin looking really good out here this evening. This could be his night. Who knows?
And don't look now, Dean. The 5 car of Adam Newton is up 2 spots. He's passed a couple of his competitors, and he's on his way to the top 5.
Adam Newton up a couple of spots, looking good. Yes, sir. The 5. You know, we always talk about Adam. Can he put it all together? Maybe tonight he can. This could be also our first, green flag stops here, and that would be huge. What a way to end it, Baron. Having to make that decision. When do you come in?
It sure would be cool to see, Dean, and I think these guys, especially our Championship 3, I think they're prepared for it. I expect to see them at least 2 tires before lap 100. This thing goes green the way we expect it. I'm expecting a 2-tire stop, but I'm not driving these race cars either.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you do. You're saying 2 tires. I mean, how long is a pit stop here, Baron? What's the disadvantage or advantage to having 2-tire versus 4-tire?
Well, under green flag, it's just like Bristol or any other half-mile track, right? You can expect to go a lap down on a green flag stop. So you might want to mitigate that, keep it on the lead lap, and get those right sides in the car and run that to the end. But again, I'm not driving these things, so thank God for that. I'm up here in the booth with you, so some of them may opt for 4.
Well, I'd probably do 4, but my lack of knowledge might get me beat. So we'll see what they do. But Miller has caught up, and he's brought Termeyer with him. So Tripp, he's holding a little advantage still, but Miller is hunting him down.
Yeah, and Termeyer right there. So both of these guys hungry to get back to the leader, and Keaton out there just doing the best he can with a car that maybe is not exactly perfect for him right now.
It looks to me, if you watch Miller, he's just doing a little more of a diamond, and it seems to be really working for him.
Yeah, and a signature move from that 26 car. We've seen it all year, right? That back end, that back right rear has been stepped out a little bit. That's really made Keaton Tripp really fast, and we're not seeing it out of that car tonight, Dean. I don't know if you've noticed, but that right rear is not humped out there like it normally is.
Yeah, it's a good point. Maybe the setup is not totally agreeing with him, but hey, we were doing a lot of picking on a guy who's led every lap in this race, lap 60 of 200. Keaton Tripp trying to bring home a championship.
Yeah, and he's doing everything he needs to. It's a great car. We got a great driver behind the wheel. We'll see if he makes adjustments in the pits when it comes time to make that stop.
Termeyer sitting in 3rd. It's Cole in 4th. Shannon 5th. Cole Kennedy has fallen back a little bit now. You see Adam Newton, he's in 7th. He's got Adam Cole with him. Matt Eddy not agreeing with tonight's track or setup a little bit. He's back in 9th. It's Barry Hines in 10th. Stephen M. back in 11th. And Chase Werderman, also not a great night for Chase, back in 12th. Alan Roll in 13th, with Bruce Pearson back here in 14th. Jay Dubuque has called it a night, I believe.
Yeah, it would appear he's pulled off the track. Some really surprising starts to this race for the likes of Chase Werderman and Matt Eddy. Chase Werderman, in point contention all year, had a fast, consistent car, finds himself deep in the field right now. And Matt Eddy, an early favorite, seems to have just kind of mired himself in the top 10. Probably still got a fast car, but he's not up there for the leaders just yet.
So, Baron, we came up on lap traffic last time. They're all nose to tail, and we've seen the chaos that ensued. We're kind of getting back to nose to tail here. I think it will be here in a few laps, and we're going to come back up on some lap traffic. What do these guys behind Tripp have to do to take advantage of it, or can they do anything?
Well, in any kind of racing, if you can time your pass to pin the guy where you want him on that lap car, you'll get that pass, no matter what. He'll be pinned behind the lap car, and he won't be able to advance his position. But doing that and saying that are two different things, Dean. These guys are hungry for this championship. They see that lap car coming up there. So the decision making starts now with the 26. Where am I going to put it?
Decisions. Right now, it's all about pit stops. I think these guys are content to just kind of win it on pit road, but I don't know what you do. You could short pit and maybe win this thing, Darren, but if a caution comes out, your night might be over. I don't know. I'd probably take the risk if I'm, maybe Austin Miller here.
Right. The definition of insanity being, if you keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result, it's never going to work for you. So some of these guys are going to roll the dice and make a different call than the rest of the field, and we'll see how that plays out.
It's definitely going to be interesting as we stay status quo. Lap 70 of 200, clicking away past the third marker here. Ooh, the 19, that's Chase Werderman up towards the wall there, staying out of the way.
Yeah, he's got himself in the wall trying to stay out of the way. So Chase being a gentleman there, letting the boys settle it for themselves, he took himself out of the picture just so they could go on and race it.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good thing to do. I'm not sure he had to grab the wall, but once he did, he held it up there. That's a good job by him.
Yeah, championship night will bring out the gentlemen and everybody. As long as they're on the track together, they're comrades. They'll go out there and race hard, but when it comes time to settle this thing, don't be the thing that makes that driver lose the championship.
Here in the Music City 200 Championship night, Nashville Fairgrounds, Tripp leading Miller as Miller has caught back up to him. He's brought Termeyer with him. I got to tell you, Marvin Termeyer looks really good tonight.
Yeah, he's got good speed. He's keeping pace with Miller and Tripp. Marvin said in the beginning of the night that he's ready to go out there and grab one of these checkered flags. Don't look now. That 16 car is ready to go to the front. So the top 5, all under a blanket, under a second within each other, and then 7 seconds back to Cole and Kennedy in 6th. So there were some guys who had it and some guys who didn't under green flag condition at 75 laps.
Yeah, amazing to see how far Colin has dropped back. He's lost a ton of time now, 8 seconds off this group. And actually, it looks like Newton has caught up to him. Let's check in on that battle, see how Adam Newton progresses.
Yeah, and Colin, was looking pretty sporty in the beginning. I wonder if he didn't wear his stuff out earlier in the race.
Yeah, I think he must have. Baron, he's just not comfortable here on the long run, or maybe he just got loose and lost a bunch of time. Hard to say.
Adam Newton looks like he's ready to find out. He'll make a pass on him too if he's not too quick.
Newton's been super racy lately, but he's got Adam Cole with him as they're both getting a little impatient here.
Yeah, it's time to go. Championship night, man. Let's get all we can get.
Yeah, last race of the year, too. Lost a chance to get a win or a great finish, and these guys won it.
And here's the start of that pass. Oh, Adam Cole almost had the same idea as Adam Newton. They both went down there to get around that 3 car. You see what Adam's doing there is he's showing his nose. He's showing the 3 car, hey, I'm faster than you. I'm going to take a poke at it here. I just want to let you know you're about to get passed.
Newton continuing to hound, looking low.
Yeah, showing him his nose, showing him his headlights, letting him know, hey, I'm here. I'm going to make a pass on you. This is exactly the message drivers send to each other. Look, I'm faster than you. I want a round. You can let me go, or we can get into each other's doors.
Wow, and I don't know if there was contact or he just got loose. The way Newton backed out, I think maybe a little contact there, but nice save from Cole and Kennedy as the line forms behind him now.
Right, and here come the Sharks, right? They're looking to take advantage of Adam's mishap there, and Adam Cole has found himself in the mix again. So Adam Newton and Adam Cole doing what they can to ground in this 3 car.
This battle just as intriguing as up front as we look back in on it. And you got to see Tripp, Miller, Termeyer, Cole, and Shannon. Same old story out front. Lap 83 of 200. I don't know. I mean, we're getting close to lap 100. And when do you pit? Do you think there could be a caution? You try and run this thing as long as you can, or you get in at the halfway mark?
Yeah, great question. Only the guys behind the wheels are going to have the answer to that. At this point, if I was driving one of these cars, I'd say lap 100, split this race in half, and then see what we can do. But adjustments are going to need to be made. They're nose to tail here up front. You got to do something a little different, and these guys know how their cars are performing for them. So adjustments, tires, all of the above.
Tricky stuff as Miller continues to look like he could do something, but just no room to do it. He can't get by him. He can't find the space. I think if you go low, you just don't get the runoff. If you go high, you get dipped by someone else. So there's no right thing to do here, Baron, but kind of stay in line and wait it out.
That's all you can do, Dean. And look, these guys are putting notes in the book. They're talking to their crew chiefs right now, and if it's just them, they're making mental notes. Hey, this is what my car needs, and this is what we're going to have.
Oh boy, we just had Keaton Tripp blink out there, and he did it again. Possible internet connection issues with our leader, Keaton Tripp.
Oh, no.
He does not want to see that. And he might be going around here, almost contact with that blinking. Miller got right up on him.
You got to know his competitors are yelling at him right now. You're blinking, buddy.
And that Miller's taking this chance to come into the pits. Austin Miller, the 42, first in. Interesting move from him.
I like it. I like it a lot. 10 laps to go. He's putting the pressure on the rest of the field now. Fresh tires. Here's your adjustment. Get out of that mix, take a breath, and then go back down. Put some real fast lap times down. We'll see if it works out for him.
Yeah, he did not like that trouble with the blinking of Keaton Tripp. It seems to have settled out now. Everything all right so far for Tripp as he leads. Termeyer in second here. You got Chris Shannon and Brian Cole in the mix. Austin Miller down and away.
Matt Eddy on pit road with him as Austin Miller comes out. He's going to find himself a couple laps down now. So we'll see if Austin Miller can have another Austin Miller type race and unlap himself 2 laps just to get back to the lead.
Well, this is exactly what he didn't want. Back here, right in the mix, he's going to have to try and pass these guys, and I'm not sure he can. If he can't, the advantage will be thrown out the window. We'll see if he can get by Marvin Termeyer here. He's got to be careful with that fresh rubber on.
Yeah, and Marvin knows exactly what he has to do. Keep that 42 behind him, right? He's a couple laps down. Don't let him around you at all costs because that could be your potential race winner.
This is so intriguing. You see him come up in the middle, then he has to check up. He's really got to time this or go to the high side. I think he's thinking about it. There he goes as Termeyer comes in. Marvin Termeyer and Brian Cole's coming in with him, and Cole brushes the tires. He just makes it. Wow.
Wow, crazy entry for Brian Cole. I hope he didn't hit those tires. That would have ruined his race for sure.
I think he got by it, and they're almost contact there. Oh, and he's latched on. He's missed his stall.
Missed his pit stall. Oh, that's
Brian
a shame.
Cole, a little problem coming in with Marvin Termeyer there. Going to cost him a couple of seconds. Right sides are on. Left side's going on as well for these guys. Chris Shannon makes his entrance.
Yeah, so pit stops have started. Monkey see, monkey do. We're waiting on Keaton Tripp now.
Keaton Tripp still on track. Coming up now, looks like he's got some lap traffic out here in front of him, or some fresh tires perhaps, and he's got a decision to make. He's got to get on, and he's got to get on clean. He can't just, make a last-second decision. He's got to plan this out and be ready for it, Aaron. Oh, and the yellow comes out. Tripp has got exactly what he wanted here. This is crazy.
What a gift. The racing gods giveth and the racing gods taketh away. Keaton Tripp has just been handed the ultimate gift. He's got the field and his competitors a lap down, and he's going to get some fresh tires in first place. That's awesome. I'm
not seeing exactly what happened out on the track. We're going to try and find something for you, but I'm not seeing any incident that occurred. Take a look in here. Looks like Chris. Oh, a little smoke up ahead. Try and get a reverse on this and see. I don't know, Baron. We're having a hard time trying to find it, so we'll just go back to live here. Very unexpected caution here, and now Werderman showing as your leader. Let's bring up our pit board and kind of figure out what's going on here, who's pitted and who hasn't.
Well, let's take a look now.
So we just get this reloaded up. Seems to be a little problem with our pit board for some reason, but it's Werderman, Tripp, Newton, and Kennedy. Werderman's in now, so that's going to give it back to Tripp. You have Newton, Kennedy, Stephen M., Austin Miller, and Chris Shannon perhaps on the lead lap.
Now, Austin Miller getting the benefit of that caution. He's managed to keep himself on the lead lap. He lost 3 spots, but he's in pretty good shape.
Wow, right at the halfway marker, right as pit stops were commencing. This is tragedy for guys like Brian Cole and Austin Miller. Might be okay. He had Keaton Tripp out here, and it all went his way so far.
Now, Dean, patience, right? If you're the 42 car, you got 4 cars in front of you, and then you got the leader. And so do you use up your stuff getting around those 4 cars, or do you wait and make those moves when they present themselves, hoping you got enough for the 26?
I mean, right now it's looking like Miller might be like maybe a lucky dog or something. So you got no other competition. Patience is the only thing you need if you're Keaton Tripp.
Absolutely. Don't hit the wall. That's it.
Don't hit the wall. Don't destroy yourself. And you know what? Even don't slow down, because we know how that works too, Baron. You get yourself out of a rhythm.
Yeah, easy to do on a short track too. Your braking points and your sound and your steering inputs all the same place, and then finally you start calming yourself down, and those points change, and you start bleeding time.
Oh
Well,
my
let's see.
goodness.
Yeah, it looks like Austin Miller is going to be. Him and Chris Shannon are going to remain on the lead lap. Brian Cole finds himself a lap down. What a bad break.
And Brian Cole, I thought he was getting a wave around there for a minute. He was speeding up, but no, Brian is a lap down. So unfortunate. He's going to need a ton of help here.
Well, a quick caution would help him out a lot. If he can find himself a way around the 94, put himself in position for the lucky dog. If he can find that and a quick caution come out, he'd be in pretty good shape getting back on that lead lap. He'd find himself in 8th place, and now he's back in contention.
I mean, he needs a caution, no doubt about it. Everybody needs a couple of cautions here to kind of get back up to Tripp. Tripp with this many cars around him, I mean, he's just got to be careful. He's got Newton and Kennedy there. They might be hungry for a win. I don't know. I mean, I might even let them go if they're getting too racy. What an untimely caution for some and timely for Tripp. Holy cow. Put it in the notes, Baron. I said, you know, anything can happen, and usually does, and here it is.
Well, one of our championship contenders is effectively out of this race right now. He's going to need some luck, and he's going to need to stay clean. But it's still up there for the 26 car. He's got to worry about that 42 as we go green.
Here we go. He gets a great start. Kennedy underneath Newton, but Newton gets a big run here. Newton on the outside of Kennedy making a move. He's looking racy, and he gets by Kennedy. Brian Cole still stuck back here. He's trying to get through so he can try and get his lap back the old-fashioned way, but we've seen how hard it is to pass. My goodness.
Yeah, and even Brian Cole's going to have a hard time getting around that 19 and that 82. These guys are out here. They deserve to be in the spot they're in. Excuse me. I'm not saying the 18 and 92. I apologize. Looking at the scoreboard. He still has some work to do.
Ton of work here. Tripp out front, nice and comfortable now. Newton, Kennedy. It's Austin Miller back in fourth. Now Miller is okay here. He's got to get up here, though, and get around these guys. He's back, he's got about 3 cars in between them, so he's got a ton of work to do. Then it's Shannon and Stephen M. and Chase Werderman. That's your lead lap cars, and then it's Brian Cole.
Yeah, crazy to think Brian Cole's a lap down on championship night. 108 of 200. We need some luck if we're in the 10 car.
Man, he's been so good all season. No mistakes at all. And here it is. And I hear something going on.
And there's the caution you needed. Oh my goodness. Who was in this caution?
Barry Hines has spun out the car. We've got that caution. This is going to throw it for a mix, folks. Let's get a quick replay on Barry Hines. See him on the high side. No real problem. He's got Adam Cole. A little wiggle, a little contact. Shannon comes in, drives in deep, gets into him. Round he goes. And that's it for your caution.
Chris Shannon may not like the result of that because that puts that 10 car back on the lead lap. And now Brian Cole has life, folks. If you're a Brian Cole fan, look out. That 10 car just found himself back on the lead lap.
And, when you got life, a second chance at it, you start to remember all the things you didn't do while you were sitting there pouting about being a lap down or whatever, and you're thinking about all the things you could have and should have and would have. You're going to do them now.
Yeah, we just put a very dangerous competitor back on the lead lap, and I hope Keaton Tripp knows that because don't look now. Look in your rearview mirror, boys and girls. Austin Miller and Brian Cole are going to be coming.
Championship night has just heated up.
I love it, Dean. I love it. This is awesome stuff. Wait till we see some of this stuff going on coming up. Oh, I can't wait. You don't think they could pass before? They're going to be passing now.
No holes barred at this point.
Yeah, Chris Shannon just handed Brian Cole a chance at this championship again. What an amazing turn of events.
I am just flabbergasted right now. Tripp still in control, though. Newton and Kennedy second and third. Miller back in fourth. As we let the gravity of the moment sink in here, Baron.
I'm so stoked. I can't wait. This is awesome. If you don't got popcorn in front of you, why'd you even come? This is awesome.
Tripp looking to get another great start here. He's going to need it. He does not want Newton on his outside. Newton was really good against Kennedy on the outside.
We're about to go green flag racing. Dean, what do you think? You're the crew chief of the 10 car. What are you telling them?
I'm telling them do whatever you need to do at this point.
Hang on, we're not going green.
We got to make our own luck. There's not enough laps to think about anything else. Put it anywhere. Put it low. Put it high. Let's make some moves and give it our best shot. Chase Werderman up 7 spots. Stephen M up 9. Alan Roel up 7. That's Brian Cole and Chris Shannon, your lead lap cars.
So it looks like Shannon maybe got put to the back for that contact, because he was higher than that, wasn't he, Dean?
Yeah, usually any kind of contact. And we're back green. Here we go. Tripp has made his move. Newton again on the outside of Kennedy, trying to make the same move. Kennedy trying to hold him off. He's doing a great job, but a big run from the 5. Going to bring him up to second. Here comes Austin Miller all over Cole and Kennedy. Had to back out a little bit there, I believe.
Yeah, for fear of being flagged, just like Chris Shannon was. So he's got to be careful here. He needs around him, but time's a wasting.
Got another caution on the track. Not sure what this one is for. Very interesting there, the caution. Didn't see anything happen out there, Baron, but something occurred. Brought out another yellow on lap 118 of 200 here. And again, they're going to re-rack him. And I got to tell you, I'm looking at Austin Miller back and forth. He is looking really, really racy.
Yes, he is. And don't look now, Dean. We're going to get going green again after lap 120. That's 80 laps of racing. Time's starting to tick down. And if you're deep in the field, it's time to make something happen. Brian Cole in from 7th position. How about that?
Speaking of trying to make something happen, Cole comes in. He says, give me some rubber, man. I mean, I'm going to try something here.
Yeah, rolling the dice here. Hoping that some adjustments and some fresh rubber are the recipe to get him back to the front.
And it just might be. I mean, I like this move. You got to try something. He's stuck back in traffic. Not a whole lot else he can do, but try something like this. So Brian Cole comes off pit road. He'll roll off 9th, but he's got the fresh rubber.
Yeah, and maybe fix a little damage. Maybe take a swing at the setup. See what he's got to get back to the front now. Championship night. Desperate times require desperate measures, right?
This is correct. Chris Shannon also in. A lap later, that'll put him back in 12th, I believe, when he comes out. Tripp sitting pretty. No mistakes from him so far. I mean, he's been under heat all night, at least for the first 100 laps, and he's been perfect so far, Baron. You think he can keep it up?
I don't see why not. Look, that armor hasn't been tested yet, right? Nobody's actually shot a few bullets at him. Nobody's really tested his speed. He's maintained the pace that he's needed to maintain to stay out in front. So unless somebody comes with a real purpose, this could be Keaton Tripp. This could be the Keaton Tripp show all night.
Yeah, it's certainly looking that way right now. Tripp, Newton, Kennedy, Miller, and Werderman, your top 5 again. And it's all about Tripp right now. And a little bit about Miller back there in 4th. If he can get a good launch, maybe follow Newton on through on that high side, we'll see if he can do that.
Right. He's looking to get past Newton in a big way. So we'll see what Austin has in store for Keaton. Remember, for the championship, Austin Miller has to win this race, and Keaton Tripp needs to finish outside the top 4. So still needs some luck for Austin Miller to win it, but boy, I know he's going to put his best foot forward and see what we can get done here. Winning it's the first step. Let's see what the race holds for the rest of it.
Winning is the first step. We'll see what happens. I said it before, anything can happen on championship night, and it usually does. We're still early, well, mid-early, 122 of 200 here, so lots of time for something to go on.
Sure is, and so excited to see it happen. Championship weekend, I'm stoked, Dean.
Another great launch from Tripp. Here comes Miller trying to follow that 5 around the outside of Cole and Kennedy. Can he get it done? The 5 stuck a little bit this time. Miller tries to fill that spot. He does. Austin Miller gets to the high side.
Great pass. Austin Miller's looking to make things happen, and Cole and Kennedy has nothing to do but sit there and watch it go down now.
He does, if Miller can get it done. Kennedy pushes high, pushing Miller even higher. Miller has to give it up.
Yeah, Colin doesn't have to give this position away. He's got a fast race car. Miller's going to have to pass him, and Colin Kennedy's going to make him earn it.
Don't look now. Here comes Brian Cole right behind. He's taken to the high side, trying to make some moves.
Yep, making some high side passes, getting the use out of those fresh tires. High side around here at Nashville, really hard to do, but Brian Cole's the driver for it right now.
Makes his way past Roel. He's looking in on Chase Werderman now.
Yeah, and I think Werderman sees him coming. If you don't, somebody's about to start knocking on the door.
Absolutely. This battle rages on. Chase Werderman been stuck around the back early on, but he's looking pretty good. Up 7 spots, running in 5th. He's not willing to give up anything, and I don't blame him. He came here to race tonight.
Yeah, he doesn't have to roll over anybody. This is for position. Go ahead, big boy, make the pass. But if you can't, you're going to have to contend with me now.
Oh, and he's turned. He's loose. He saved it. Oh, and Brian Cole up in the wall. Into Shannon. He's wrecking. That's a big
Brian
lick for
Cole
the 10.
Finding all kinds of trouble when he just didn't need it.
That was a little bit, trying a little too much, perhaps. Let's get a look in on it and see exactly what happened there.
Oh, what a heartbreaker.
You see Cole in the 10 behind him. They're looking pretty racy. He gets on the apron a little bit, and then he gets into Werderman. Up into the wall as well, down into Shannon. And the Cole, that could be the end of his championship night. He's definitely got to come in and take a fast repair if he hasn't already.
What a heartbreaker. So it looked like Werderman got a little bit loose on the bottom of that turn, and no place for Brian Cole to go. He moved it up the hill to try to stay off of him, and it got him in the wall. What a shame. Heartbreaker for Brian Cole. If he's got that fast repair, he's not in terrible condition. He won't lose a lap, but he really needs to... and let's take a look at that car, Dean. Can we get a front look on him?
Let's see if we can get a good look here at the front, but... probably about as good as we're going to go. I don't see a lot of damage there. He did just come in, but I don't think he could have pitted that quick.
Well, if he came in and just got the damage fixed, he's in great shape if you still had that left over.
Well, I gave him the advice. I was his crew chief. You instructed me. I told him to try anything. That was a little wild there as several guys on pit road. It's going to shift around. Newton already pitted, and as did Austin Miller. So that's interesting. Miller in 7th, Newton in 8th, both coming in and grabbing rubber.
Yeah, and adjustments. You got to figure right now Austin Miller's starting to get a little desperate. So interesting to see what happens with Brian here. I'd love to see if we get a closer picture of his car, see if he's still got damage on it or not.
Putting me under the heat here,
yeah,
Baron. Yeah. I don't have the heat to take a look at here.
Let's take a look and see if there's anything else. There's TV1.
Let's see if we can get something from the back of someone here.
Matt Eddy, the 88. Looks like Eddie's in front of him.
There we go. There's Eddie looking back at Cole.
So, folks, this isn't Fox broadcast. We don't have 40 cameras around the track. We got me and Dean trying to get a look at everything here. And I tell you what, Dean, that car looks pretty straight from my point of view. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it looks perfect out here. And as far as Fox, we don't want to be Fox. We're better than Fox, Baron.
We are Wind Tunnel TV, damn it.
Absolutely.
That car looks pretty straight, Dean. I think Brian Cole's got his 3rd life. Boy, he's reaching into that bag of 9 lives. He's going to use them all tonight if he's going to win this championship.
It's about to get crazy out here. 134 of 200. It's Tripp, and there he goes. Kennedy on the outside. Chris Shannon trying to make a move, and Cole trying to come in there and see if he can't fill one of these spots.
Wow, I'm just amazed. Oh, and Austin Miller loses it coming off the corner. Oh, no, and Miller has taken himself out of contention. Just lost it coming out of turn 4.
And the championship nerves are getting to these guys as they know laps are winding down. Let's take a look in and see what happened to Miller. Touches the apron a little bit and gets loose off, overcorrect, kind of saves it. Pearson gets into him. No heavy damage there. He should be all right.
Yeah, and took a little tap in the left rear there. It's not going to hurt him too bad.
Looks like Shannon back on pit road. Interesting. Adam Cole, Alan Roel on pit road as well. So interesting decisions by these guys. Up front, Tripp, Kennedy, Brian Cole up in third position. Newton, Eddie, Werderman, Stephen M., and Austin Miller in 8th. Crazy to see Cole back up here. Lap down moments ago, Baron.
All 9 lives. He's using them all. How does he find himself in third place? He's got to be asking himself that.
It's crazy. I mean, this is what can happen, though. We had a green flag, basically 100 laps, and then it started. And now everybody's amped up. It's championship night. You got to go. There's nowhere to go, really. So they're trying things that, maybe you can't even really do. You got to try something, and this is the result. I don't think we're done yet, Baron.
Definitely not. Definitely not. We've got some guys in the back of this field now that are, like, to your point, feel the desperation. They're coming. And Brian Cole right now has found himself in a spot I didn't think Brian Cole even thought he could be in at the end of this race.
No, he was done. Some guys would have checked out. This is why you persevere. This is why you stick with it. He could get up here and win himself a championship still. And I got to tell you, Keaton Tripp is not enjoying this one bit.
Nope, and that's why they run all the laps, Dean. You just don't hand it to the guy who leads the most. Wow, Keaton Tripp has really got his hands full. He's on older tires than the 10 car. 10 car's got position behind him now. This is a recipe for great finish here, Dean.
So intriguing. And I don't know where the intrigue is going to come from. Is it going to come from Rex? Is it going to come from some green flags, great action? Hard to tell right now, but I don't think we're done wrecking. And I think you might see, Cole and Tripp at some point in this race slugging it out.
Now, look, Dean, this restart could be everything, right? If the 10 car follows the 26 and they put that 3 car high, all of a sudden 10 car, second place. Now we got a different race on our hands, don't we?
Absolutely. I love starting third over second, and I don't like the visuals from being in second place. So, Cole might. Oh, and Tripp blinks out. Boy, oh boy, don't do that now. Keaton Tripp, got to keep that internet connection strong. There he goes, down and away. We're back to green flag action. Cole unable to get underneath Kennedy, so that was pretty big for Keaton Tripp.
Yeah, Keaton Tripp happy to see that 3 car behind him right now. A little buffer between him and the 10. So 10 car's got roughly 50 laps or so to go here. He's going to have to put that 3 car behind him and make a run. And it looks like the 3 car sees it coming.
The 3 got a little loose there. That gave Cole the opportunity. He took advantage. Tripp brushes the wall on entry. Brian Cole now in second, trying to chase down Keaton Tripp.
Yeah, and here we go. The race is on now, Dean. Folks, tighten up your seatbelts. This is about to get real good.
Yes, sir. All season long, it's been Brian Cole mostly leading, but with the drop weeks, things change, things shift around. And now Cole has to beat Tripp. Tripp, I think, has to beat Cole, and Newton's down to the inside wall. Newton gets loose, comes down, hits and he gets back into it. That's That's not good there, trying to get that thing spun, and it did not spin. So now Cole has to re-rack from second. Now, I mean, I just said I prefer third, but second's won all night long over third, so I think Cole likes where he is.
Well, paying a little homage to the pace truck tonight. Keaton Tripp got a sense of humor. Love it.
Absolutely. So we're getting hard pressed at this point to get a few laps in. These guys racing so hard.
So, Dean, who you got? We got 50 laps for a restart. Who you got?
Well, you got to go with Tripp. I mean, Tripp's been fantastic all season. You know, he's been good when he's up front, and he's been aggressive when he's not. But I mean, I got to pick him, but I'm not counting out Cole.
Yeah. If you got the money line, and if you're taking bets in the audience tonight, easy to put money on the 26. I really like what's happening with the 10 car right now. I mean, the racing gods are with him.
They seem to be falling in his favor, no doubt about it.
Man, I love it. Dean, been in a handful of these races where you're in contention. You know, your palms are sweaty. You know what's on the line. It's been a long season. My goodness, you got your chief competitor right on your outside door on this restart. I can't even imagine the pressure Keaton Tripp is feeling right now.
Yeah, this is where you got to really rely on all those wins and those races you've had. You've kept it calm all season. Championships add this extra layer, but you cannot let it get to you. You have to pretend like it's just another race.
Yeah, but how do you do it, Dean? What brings that center back into place for you as the driver now? How do you keep that pressure under control?
Well, it's different for everybody. I'll tell you for myself, it's my old man. He taught me, my father taught me from when I was a child how to handle these situations, and his voice is always in my head. One of these guys has got a great coach or a great father, and they're hearing their voices right now from the past, and it's keeping them cool.
Now, we know some of their parents and their siblings and friends are watching this broadcast tonight, Dean. Hopefully, there's some telemetry they're feeding off to these guys, to give them a little bit of an edge against their competitor. Gosh, I can't imagine what it's like being a parent of one of these guys in this race right now, championship on the line.
Yeah, it's got to be crazy, especially watching this broadcast and seeing how all the turns, the events that are happening. It's got to be nerve-wracking to say the least. Here we go. Pace truck is off. Tripp leading them down. He launches. Another great launch. Cole gets a good launch from second. He's going to be right on him. Oh, and in the wall is Shandon. Down the track he goes. He's on the apron. I think that might be it for him. Cole, though, great restart. He's going to be right on the back of Keaton Tripp. Here we go.
Yep. Now, Brian Cole didn't let him go. He's got a hell of a start, and he's right to that back bumper. That's amazing that we're going to have these guys finish 1-2 tonight, barring any unforeseen circumstances moving forward. 50 laps to go. I can't believe it, Dean. We're winding down, and we've got these guys together again.
Unbelievable. You knew it would happen. You didn't know how it would happen, but here we go. Cole and Tripp one more time. Lap 152 of 200. And I don't know what he's got to do, but he's got to make a move. And I'd say he's got to do it before 20 to go, Baron. You can't wait.
Got to take advantage of that rubber, Dean. He's got the fresher tires. He has to make the pass soon. Otherwise, they're going to equalize out, and Tripp's just going to stay right where he's at, right?
Let's see if we can see that lap they pitted on here. Lap 129 for Cole. Lap 98 for Keaton Tripp.
Yeah, so Brian Cole right there now looking for another avenue to get around him. You saw him dip low. You saw him poke his head up high. Brian Cole is right there, guys, and it's amazing to see. You're feeling the pressure, right? You got to get there.
Oh man, he's feeling the pressure. Tripp's starting to feel the pressure, but he's just got to keep rolling his line. He can't give anything to Cole whatsoever.
No, and Keaton knows what he's doing here. He's got a good car, but he sees that rearview mirror filled with the 10 car, and you know that's got to be weighing heavy on him now. Brian Cole's looking for another line, and he doesn't see anything yet. But I'll tell you what, Dean, if he got around that 26 car, he might set sail.
He could set sail. It's hard to say for certain. You don't know what Tripp's doing, how much he's managing. A little loose on Brian Cole as he's pushing that car for all it's worth.
Yeah, got a little bit in the loud pedal there, didn't he? He was trying to, keep time with the 26.
Absolutely, he did. Tripp and Cole continue battling. This is amazing stuff here. You got our other contender is Austin Miller. Now he's back and forth. Let's take a look in on him. He's back a little bit. He's about 2 seconds back of these guys. Can he have a little magic left in the tank?
Well, if we know one thing about Austin Miller, he's going to get there one way or another, but time is running out for that 42 car.
It's running out, but these guys are up here racing. He wants nothing more than to watch these two race real hard, maybe take each other out, and he can just walk into this championship. We've seen it before, Baron, and Cole pushes up into the wall.
Cole lost the nose big time behind the 26. Hard contact with the outside wall. Oh, it could be it for the 10 car.
Let's hop on board with Brian Cole and just see if everything's all right here.
Yeah, he really lost the nose tucked up behind the 26, and the car took off and got to the outside wall. He's got to be worried about that now next time he catches this 26. And it looks like he's doing it again, Dean.
Yeah, he's looking fine here. Doesn't look like he's lost any real speed or anything. No real harm, no foul, so to speak. But now he's got to reel him back in. There's only 39 laps left.
Keaton Tripp, challenger after challenger, has been at his back bumper, and nobody's been around him, Dean.
Early on we had the 5 of them out there, but since then nobody's been able to touch him, and Cole was the closest here for those opening 10 laps of this run. Little mistake. He's really got to work to get back there, and you got to be worried about how much he's going to burn that car up trying to get up there.
Yeah, and with the added damage, that's going to be a little harder than he thought it would be. But we're not done yet. This race ain't over, and the 10 car's still in it.
Definitely still in it and closing. Now 0.4 seconds behind. He is definitely coming. Laps continuing to tick away. Kennedy still in third, doing a nice job with Austin Miller right there.
Yeah, lots of pressure from the 42 on that 3 car. Austin Miller really showing some speed right now, but he's running out of laps, Dean, and he's going to really need some luck now if he's going to get to the front.
He needs more than just a little luck of getting there. He needs some help as well. So Miller, but he's got to get there first. Here he comes, a little run on the high side. The door closed. Kennedy, and we got a little bit of smoke up front as Cole now maybe blinking a little bit or locking him up. I'm not sure, but puffs of smoke coming out of that car.
Now, Brian Cole is driving that little horse for all he can right now. That thing has stepped out sideways. He has got a handful now. And he is driving the wheels off of this thing, trying to get back to the 26.
He is, and this has put him in a spot he's not used to. You never see him drive like this. It's always being in control, being patient, getting the points tonight. It's not good enough tonight. He needs this victory.
Yeah, he needs the victory. He needs around that 2016. And by hook or by crook, we're riding down now. I know they're not allowed to bump each other, but I can guarantee he'll be thinking about it if he catches that 26 again.
He'll be thinking about it. Won't probably do it, but it's always in the mind. Austin Miller has got by Cole and Kennedy. Here comes the 42. So now, late in the race, 30 laps to go, and our top 3 contenders for the championship are 1, 2, 3 in the race. Would you expect anything different, Baron?
Absolutely not. This whole season, these guys have been the cream of the crop. These guys have really shown some great patience, some racecraft, fast cars with fast setups, a little bit of luck along the way, and here they are again, 1, 2, 3.
Well, we've deemed the 42 Mr. Excitement. Can he get up here and thrill us one more time? I'm not sure. Not enough laps, probably, but if anybody could do it, he could. Up
Yeah,
front,
sure, good.
Tripp continuing to hold off Cole. Cole seems to have found his rhythm here and closing back in once again.
I'm wondering if the damage wasn't so bad on that 10 car. He looks like he was catching them, and now it seems to have equaled out a little bit. What do you think?
Definitely seems to be a little equaling out, but he is narrowing his way back in, now within 5/10.
Yeah, fast car in that 10 car, fast driver, maybe a little heated now. He's ready to get back to that 26 car, and he's just slowly chipping away at that lead again.
Definitely driving it in really deep and hard here. Also trying to get the run off. Hard to do both.
Yeah, and it looks like he got himself a little tight on that last entry. So, got to maintain. You got to pay attention to those tires, Dean. This is championship racing right now. I'm so excited.
These guys matching times here right now. Tripp doing a great job out front. We got to give him his due. He's controlled this race from beginning to end. He didn't pit early. He didn't get caught by that caution on pit road. He's led every single lap, to my knowledge, maybe one or two in there through the pit stops. But Tripp dominant out here, and he's been great all season. Man, oh man, 25 to go for the championship.
Yeah, and Keaton Tripp is starting to see the light, isn't he? Right, 25 to go. All he's got to do is hold off that 10 car. Slow and steady, smooth turns. Don't overtax the car. This is your race to lose, Keaton.
Let's hop on board with Brian Cole, see what he's got here. You see him a little bit of a diamond here, trying to be smooth, trying not to overpress while pressing. I don't know if he can do both, but he's closed in one more time, just a little bit on Tripp. Tripp with a good runoff that time.
Cautiously aggressive, Dean. That's where you have to be right now with these laps winding down. Cautiously aggressive. We saw him get a little over aggressive, and it cost him a little shot to the wall. So he's learned something here.
Baron, you sound like one of our political parties up here in Canada, progressive conservative. They sound confused, kind of like cautiously aggressive.
Cooperation, right?
That's it. Continue to ride with Cole here and watch this battle. Tripp got his name all over the bumper. He wants people to know who it is in front of him.
Man, if I was Keaton Tripp spotter right now, I'd be like, keep doing what you're doing, brother. Stay the course. The 10 car ain't getting you. You're doing fine. Just keep ticking off laps. Let's throw some qualifiers down and we'll be done. And that is a clean race car in the 26 too. He hadn't touched anything but wind.
Yeah, he's been clean all night. You know, just doing a masterful job up front, being smooth, steady, and he's starting to open up a little bit. Cole didn't want to see this.
No, and those new tires no longer a benefit, and that damage really starting to hurt that 10 car. This is Keaton Tripp at his finest. What a dominating performance now by the 26 car as he blinks out again. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness, don't do this now. Tripp blanking out late in the race. This is all he needs. Oh, my heart is in my throat here. This can't be happening.
Yeah, somebody tell him. Get the sister off the Wi-Fi.
18 to go. It seems to have settled down once again as Tripp giving us a little mini heartache. That would be a heck. Oh, he's gone again.
Oh my gosh, somebody yell at Keaton. Dude, we're losing you.
He keeps blinking in and out. Can his connection hold on? Can he hold on?
Can I hold on? I'm holding my breath over here.
Brushes the wall ever so slightly on entry there, as he's got to know he's having a little bit of a connection issue. Settled down once again. 15 laps to go.
Classy move by Bruce Pearson. Let these boys settle it out, get out the way, and then continue racing. Well done.
Yeah, well done by him for sure in that Mission 22 car.
What a performance by Keaton Tripp. All the pressure in the world. All his competitors lined up on his bumper, and that 26 car stayed out front the whole time.
The whole time. Just doing a great job. I'm not even sure he had the best car tonight, but he was the best driver, and he's been the most consistent, and he qualified the best. He's done what champions do. Maybe taking a car he didn't particularly like and taking it to victory lane if he can finish 13 more laps. As he begins to blink one more time. I can't take it, Baron.
I can't handle it, Dean. I can't imagine the worst case scenario. There he goes again. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Please hang on.
Coming down to 10 to go for the 26 Keaton Tripp as we focus in on Cole chasing him because Tripp keeps blinking out. We can't focus on him.
Oh my gosh, 10 to go. Hang on, buddy. And I'm not rooting for Keaton Tripp. I want everybody to hear that. I'm not rooting for him. I'm just rooting for a great race with a solid finish. And if Keaton Tripp were to lose his connection now, that would just be a heartbreak for everybody. Racers love racing.
Well, at this point, like, you're almost rooting for him. You certainly, we don't want him to lose that way. And Cole doesn't want to win that way. Right now, Tripp, looking great though. He's opened up about a 1 second gap, and outside of a mistake or this internet connection issue, which is just giving me fits here in the booth, he's got 8 more laps to do.
8 more laps. That connection needs to hold. Start screaming at everybody in the house, get off the Wi-Fi.
He's probably screaming from his chair like you wouldn't believe.
But Brian Cole, like, hats off to Brian Cole. Found himself a lap down early in this race, rebounded, spun, still finds himself in second place. This is a championship caliber driver, Dean, and I can't wait to see what Brian has in store for us in the next season.
Yeah, absolutely. Brian, he is a championship caliber driver and a classy guy, no doubt about it. But Tripp outdoing him here this evening. He's coming down to 5 to go for the race win here at Nashville Fairgrounds in the Music City 200 and to claim the championship. You see him that time, not pushing the car at all, coming off low.
Yeah, absolute cruise control right now for these last 5 laps. Hit your marks, maintain your speed. This race is
Oh my God, we've got a yellow flag on the track. It's Barry Hines flipped over on the inside wall, and we're going to re-rack him, folks. Wouldn't you know it? Anything can happen, and usually does, and it just did.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So we are going to have a 2-lap shootout here, aren't we?
We're going to have a true green-white checker finish here, I believe.
We don't have the timer set, do we?
Let's hope there's no timer situation. Cole almost dives onto pit road. A little fake there.
Yeah, what do you do? Do you take tires? Do you even have the opportunity, right? Fix that damage? Well, Austin Miller did.
Yeah, Miller's in. I'm not sure if he wasn't already in, though. He is way back.
Yeah,
I think he's retired for the evening.
Yeah. Yeah, it would appear Austin's been on pit road to fix something there. I wonder if he got hung up in that last yellow.
So 3 to go here, Baron. Or 2 to go, however this is going to play out. You got Tripp still tripping out here, blinking in and out. And oh my goodness, don't go away. But you got Cole on the outside. What does he need to do to get a better launch? I mean, does he have him figured out yet? Can he time this launch and get on the outside of Tripp?
I mean, he has to, right?
He has to.
I mean, that's it. That's the only option, right?
It is
He's
the
going to
only
have to
option.
anticipate this start. He's going to have to go when he shouldn't, right? You want to win this race, you need to come off side by side on that 26, or you're not going to win this race and you're not going to win this championship.
Right. You need to risk a black flag. You need
I
to
would.
go for it, and if you miss it, you miss it. It's almost your only shot.
Yeah. I agree with you, Dean. I think if you're in the 10 car, you take a stab and hope it sticks, because if it doesn't, what'd you lose, right? You were going to finish second anyways.
Absolutely. Keaton Tripp, totally under control. Laps winding down. Only a few left. Bam, a caution comes out. Now it hurts in his throat. He's got to do it one more time.
Yeah, and he knows now that 10 car is going to throw the kitchen sink at him. So let's see what we got in store. I'll tell you what, my palms are sweaty. I'm pacing again. I haven't paced since the first race of the season. I'm pacing again, and now I can't wait to see what happens. I'm so stoked.
I don't want to admit it, but I think I'm starting to smell myself here, Baron, with the sweat pouring out of me. The nerves are going.
It's incredible. I love what I'm seeing. I can't wait to see how these boys sort it out. They're racked up, Dean. Hang on.
Here we go, folks. Tripp and Cole up front. This is what matters. This is for the race win. This is for the championship. It doesn't get any better than this, folks. Pace truck pulling off the track, and there goes Tripp. Another great launch. Kennedy going to get up here underneath. Kennedy's going to get up here and get by Cole, and that's going to be your race. Kennedy went up there and stole it from Cole. Tripp's loving it. 2 to go. He's coming down to the white flag.
Yeah, Brian Cole with a little bit of tire spin there gave up 2 positions and his chance at the championship. If we see the white flag, Dean.
White flag, Keaton Tripp out here showing everybody how to get it done. He's got his name on the bumper, like I said, and he's going to put his name on a trophy. The 26, Keaton Tripp, coming through for winner here at Music City 200 at Nashville Fairgrounds. What a job by the 26. He deserved it. He earned it here tonight, Baron.
So dominant by the 26 car. Had challenger after challenger as the 10 car comes up and gives him a little rub, says, congratulations, buddy. Hell of a win. Good job. And, that was just him saying congratulations to the 26. It was a hell of a race. Good competitors, class acts.
Yeah, great job by everybody. I mean, early on we had that big green flag run, and then later it was a bunch of cautions, then a green flag followed by that late caution just to put some drama on it. It always happens. Tripp, nothing tripped him out at all. You couldn't trip him up. It was unbelievable. Keaton in the 26, he's taking it to the garage. He's ready for some champagne. I mean, I don't know what more I can say, man. It was an entertaining season, capped off by an entertaining finish here in this race.
Yeah, it sure was, and I'm so excited to see how this unfolded this season. Dean, what an amazing race to cap off this inaugural season.
Absolutely. Right now, let's catch our breath. Let's take a short commercial break. We come back, we'll get interviews. We'll definitely get Keaton Tripp in here and maybe a couple other guys to finish this one off. in Nashville in this Raid Furniture Mart Super Series. Keaton Tripp, your race winner and champion. Baron, we talked about it all. And, all I got to say is these guys are going to re rack them here in a week or two. And I can't wait to see the beginning of the next season because this one, with these drop weeks and everything, it puts so much drama on this last race.
Yeah, it did, and I like what it's done. It's put the competitors close to each other. It gave those guys who couldn't make every race a chance to compete for the championship, and we had three of the best tonight sorted out here at Nashville.
We did have three of the best, and I got one of the best right now. Came home fourth tonight. Not too happy with that, but that's Brian Cole in the 10. He's been great all season long. Just come up a little bit short here tonight. Brian, I don't even know if I can say congrats on fourth place, but I can tell you congrats on being a heck of a driver and having one hell of a season.
Thank you. Congrats to Keaton. He was the class of the field all season, so he deserved it.
Well, he did. He earned it here tonight. I wouldn't say he's a class. So you were up there all season long. Talk a little bit about tonight, Brian. I mean, you had some different things happen, including that untimely pit stop. I mean, how did you recover from that? You had to be out of your mind, upset or whatever the words might be at how your luck was at that stage of the race.
Well, I thought I'd try to pit early because, being, I don't know where it was, fourth or fifth, I figured, if I could get a few laps and maybe when it cycled around, maybe I could be in front of Keaton because it was going to be hard to pass him. And just, I had that caution come out and I was 2 laps down. So I was really surprised that I had a shot at it at the end, but I went ahead and got new tires after I got on the lead lap, and it just wasn't enough. I was driving really hard, trying to get them early, as early as I could, because once the tires got hot, everything kind of equaled out.
Yeah, we've seen you driving harder than we've seen you before, and it was a little bit maybe out of your element to push the car that hard. Talk a little bit about that. Like, there's nowhere to go on this track, so what could you try and do? I mean, you tried the high side, you tried getting in on the low side, but then you can't get off. I mean, there's just nowhere to go, Brian.
Yeah, it's hard to pass here, and especially someone like Keaton who doesn't make mistakes. He was going to have to make a mistake for me to get by him, but uh, I was just, I'm usually one that's going to drive about 95% and save a little tire or, and that's what I was doing early on in the race. But I just had to get up on the wheel, and I just made a couple mistakes, and then I just started over driving. But just it was still a lot of fun though. At least I had a shot at it.
Definitely a lot of fun. We can hear a little bit of dejectedness there in the voice, Brian, but you can stand tall and stand proud. What a season you had, leading the points most of the way. Of course, the drop weeks kind of shuffle that up a little bit, but you had one heck of a season. We can't wait to see you come back and see if you can grab this championship in the next year's installment coming up in a week or two, the beginning of that. So, Brian, good luck going forward and one heck of a season. Congratulations, man.
I appreciate it. I'm gonna step out, and my son Walker is gonna run the next season in my place. He's 15 and he's really getting into iRacing, so we're gonna see how he does.
Well, hey, we'll look forward to that. That'll be awesome seeing your son out there, Brian. Maybe you give him a little pointers, being spotter out there, and I can't wait to see that, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna be right here beside him. I'll be his crew chief, so I'm gonna help him out all I can. I probably look more forward to watching him run the next season than if I was running myself. And appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys for doing the broadcasting.
Absolutely. We love doing it. And Baron, that's Brian Cole. What a season he had, man. And now he's going to bring his son in. That's going to be highly entertaining.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what a father-son combination like that looks like. It'd be his inaugural season, but he's got a lot of experience and a lot of talent coaching him on next season. But speaking of experience and talent, Colin Kennedy brings this three car in home second place. Colin, where the hell did you come from, man?
I got lucky. Um, when everybody was doing green flag pit stops, I decided to stay out. That was my best chance with anything. I was running behind um, Adam Newton and Adam Cole, and Adam Cole had just pitted, and I was sitting P3 for a couple laps while I was running under the green, and I decided that my best chance of getting in my best position, finishing position, was just to sit back and ride it out and see if we can get a caution. And luckily enough, we did get a caution, and I pitted, got fresh tires. I started P3, and then just stuff should started going my way with caution, so I could save tires. That late race restart with Brian, where I got underneath him, he just had a bad restart, and I just drove right by him and finished second. So.
Yeah, brand new paint scheme for the 3-car tonight. Was there anything special about that scheme tonight?
It was just because it was the last race of the season. I thought I'd try something new. I'll run the same paint scheme the whole season, and I was like, since it's the last race, I might as well try something different, maybe get some luck with it. And sure enough, it did pay off because top two is great.
Well, it was a hell of a finish for you, Colin. You had your hands full all night, competitor after competitor, challenging you during the race, but you held them on off. Hell of a season, Colin. I think you could, talk a little bit about your growth throughout the season.
Oh yeah, when I first got into the end of the season, I was a little nervous because it was my first season, and I knew I needed to, instead of like just trying to go for every single one, is just learn as much as you can throughout the season, see what these other guys are doing to get better. And I was just constantly watching these certain laps that these guys are running to see where the best speed is, where you get the most grip. And this track, I was actually struggling a little bit. I was sending it into the corner a little too low and burning up my right front. So I started going a little bit higher, and then it started saving my right front and getting better speed. But yeah, this season was really just about learning. Next season, I'm really, really hoping for a couple wins, possibly. I mean, if I just get a win, I'll be happy with that. But yeah, this season was just about learning a whole lot. So that's all I was really looking for this year, and I'm really, really happy how it turned out.
I don't blame you, Colin. Hell of a season. Anybody you want to thank to cap this season off and prepare yourself for the next?
I'd like to thank y'all for doing this the whole season. I'd like to thank Marvin for giving me the chance for all this. My parents for letting me do this. Brian for getting me into iRacing and to get me into the series. But especially thank y'all for hosting this.
Well, it's been our pleasure watching you grow throughout this season. Look forward to what you're going to accomplish next year, Colin Kennedy, our second place finisher here, Dean, in the Music City 200.
Yes, sir. And I'm sitting here with the 26 Keaton Tripp, race winner in the Music City 200 and championship winner. Congratulations, Keaton.
Thank you very much.
One heck of a performance here. And let's start at the very beginning. One of the biggest keys out here tonight, you grabbing the pole. Talk about how big that was here this evening.
Oh, it was huge. It was really hard to pass here. I would assume I was in the front basically the whole race. I think whenever that caution came out, I stayed out the whole time, and everyone else got stuck lap down. I think from pitting, and I just maintained the lead the rest of the way. I just stayed out and stayed in the lead and took care of the car, and it worked out.
Worked out great. Qualify up front, controlled it, waited on the pit. That helped as well. But later on, you got shootouts. Now, I'm going to touch on something different. We didn't think anything could stop you here tonight, anything at all, except for one thing. You're blinking. Was your internet failing you? I mean, we're looking at 25 to go, and we're having heart attacks up here, Keaton.
I didn't, to be honest with you, I didn't even notice that. I wasn't paying attention to the internet. I was just focused on making sure I was hitting my lines perfect every lap and staying in the lead, because I knew the only way I'd win the championship tonight is if I won. So that was my main focus. I didn't even look at that. Good thing I didn't lag out there, and that would have ended the night. That would have been bad.
My
So
goodness, Keaton, and you were blinking out every lap, and sometimes for 4, 5, 6 seconds, it was getting scary. But you were hanging in there, man, and it's probably best you didn't know that. But talk about a little bit later on in the race. You got a couple of restarts, now you got Cole to deal with. Did you have any nerves at all, or were you thinking, you know what, I'm going to get a good launch, I'm fine here, everything's okay?
no, I never really did have any nerves because all the restarts just worked out perfect for me. I could go whenever I wanted and spaced out pretty good. The only thing I was kind of worried about was somebody on my outside timing it perfectly and staying on my outside into turn one and then getting by me on the straightaway because the outside was the way to go going into the corners and you get great launch off if you're on the outside of somebody and the guy on the inside will get really tight and that probably would have been game over if somebody would have stuck on my outside with me.
Yeah, absolutely correct. I mean, someone had to get up there. Well, Brian Cole in particular had to really just guess and try and take that chance at a black flag and try and get you. He didn't do that. You controlled from beginning to end. You put on a show here this evening, and you put on a couple during this season. I remember those duels he won, both or not the dual races, twin 75s, if you will. And you really did great there. And Keaton, you've been a thrill to watch out here. One race passing late, lower than low, I remember. So it's been just a fabulous season for you, man. You walk home with the championship, and I'm sure you'll be back to defend next season. Can't wait for that. But a big congratulations on everything here this evening.
Thank you very much. I'll definitely be back for next season. This was a fun season. It's a fun league, and I want to thank you guys for broadcasting and Marvin for putting on the shows, and it was fun.
All right, Baron, that's the champ himself, Keaton Tripp, winner of the race as well. What a show he put on.
The champ is here, Dean, and great to see Keaton in his season, the way it's unfolded for him. Really earned what he's got tonight. Super proud of what I saw out of Keaton. Um, and it looks like we got the one and only Marvin Termeyer in the room with us. Marvin, what do you think, man?
I'm wore out, boys. I'm telling you. That first 98 laps was like qualifying every single lap. And that Tripp, dude, he's just on a rail. I mean, you've really got to be elbows up to stay with that dude. And first 98 laps was an absolute blast. It was like turning the heat up in this room, man. It was a workout. Once again, finale didn't disappoint. Last season we came down to the finale and we actually had Brian Cole and Austin Miller tie, and Cole took it on he had one extra win, and that was the tiebreaker. So tonight looks like a 7 point spread there for the finale. And if Austin hadn't had bad luck, man, it could have been a three car battle there for sure. So really happy with the way the season turned out. We got off to a little bit of a shaky start, definitely made up for it through the midpoint of the season here at the end. And like Keaton said, appreciate you guys broadcasting us, letting people see some good racing. So I really appreciate that.
Well, we loved it.
Marvin, oh, sorry, Dean. Marvin, one more question before I let you go, and I'll let Dean step in here. You've had this series now for a couple of years. We're looking towards the next season starting in a couple weeks. What kind of changes or what kind of future do you want to see for this league moving forward?
No changes. I mean, I think we've got a solid set of rules, solid group of drivers. We're looking to bring in a few more people. We'd like to see 20 to 24 car fields. Um, but at the end of the day, um, the competition we put on with 15 cars, I would rather have that competition and have good clean racing than to have 24 and have caution fests. But hopefully we can get a few more guys in here. Next season starts in just a couple of weeks on the 15th. We'll be under the lights at Martinsville, so that ought to be a spectacular show. Um, yeah, I mean, I think we got a pretty good product. We just need a few more guys to fill out the field that buy into what we do, which is just clean, hard racing, and just being respectful. It's hard to find that in a lot of groups. A lot of people just drive over you and just show no respect anymore. And we try to kind of run this thing old school. where you let your driving do the talking instead of your bumper, and you get guys like Keaton and Brian and Austin in here that just throw haymakers every week and show that you can get it done without using the chrome horn, and that's what I love to see. So hopefully we can get a couple more guys in here that can get up in the top five and really mix it up and make Keaton work for it a little bit. He really put Brian on the hot side this summer. Really had to work Brian over, and Brian usually stays cool under pressure. Seen him kind of slip up a little bit tonight and put it in the wall, and that's a good thing. When you've got guys that can put that much pressure on each other, but still keep it clean and be smart. I mean, you don't get much better than that. It's a fun group to run with like that.
Yeah, Marvin, it's been great watching the evolution of this series here and all your drivers and getting to know them, man. We know them all now, and it's been a pleasure for us to broadcast it here. Actually, it was a pleasure to watch you run tonight, Marvin. We thought early on you had a shot, but the caution and all that kind of threw things for a loop. But it's been a great season, man. Can't wait for next season. A couple of weeks out, you say, so we'll look forward to that one, man.
Well, tonight we had the little incident with the 83 down turn 4, and had to use the reset, and then we had the little skirmish on the backstretch. It kind of you know put the kibosh on the night with just too much damage. So, hopefully, this is good confidence builder. Get up and run with those guys the way we did tonight for the first half of the race. Good confidence boost. Remind me that, oh hey, old boy can still get it done if he's there at the right time. So
Well, you were
just
there, brother. You were
oh,
there.
we were there and it was a blast. So hopefully we carry that into next season. Maybe sneak off a win or two. Who knows? That would definitely make my week for sure. So can't wait to get there. Hopefully we see both of you there. Dean's been awesome this season. Baron, uh, guys are great to listen to when we go back and watch the replays. So appreciate y'all doing what you do.
All right, man. Well, we appreciate you having us here. Baron, the end of the season here, like we said, we finished with a bit of a thriller here, and also with, at the same time, Keaton really putting on a show. And, we couldn't be happier. I'm sure you couldn't be happier. I mean, I was thrilled with tonight. A little bit of heart attack with that internet problem, though. Holy cow.
My heart can't deal with it, Dean. My heart can't deal with it. Championship night, and we've got an internet issue on tap, and whew, Keaton Tripp pulled it out. I'm super proud.
I'm super proud too, and I've been proud all year to be covering this. But that's going to wrap it up for tonight. Keaton Tripp, your champion here in the Music City 200, won the race and the championship. It's going to wrap it up for us. I'm Dean Doucette. He is Baron Labosco, and we'll see you next time on Wind Tunnel TV.